Jennings. We got Susie on from Newport Beach, and we got Mr. Glenn Sanford, founder of EXP Worldwide. We got a special guest in the house, and today we are going to watch Worm Technology. It's going to revolutionize real estate. It's going to blow your minds. I'm going to give this to Phil, Eric, and Ian. I got it. It's not in the sign, but I remember Ian. I'm going to hand this over to the team because I want to get right into it. Harpreet, how you doing? I see you there. And let's just go for it. I promised I want Glenn to see this. You guys are going to be blown away. Who wants to take over control? Who do we want to give control to? Rob's Litzinger's there.
Give that to Phil Ranta.
You bet.
Give control to Phil, co-host.
Thank you, Brent. Appreciate it. And thank you so much for having us here today. You know, EXP is such a forward-thinking realty entity that us as futurists and technologists get really excited when we have the ability to present to wonderful folks like you. So thank you so much. I think it might help a little bit to go around by way of introduction so that when you hear people chime in on our side, it's not just disembodied voices. So hi, my name is Phil Ranta. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Wormhole Labs. I was previously at Facebook where I was in charge of gaming over there. Very excited to jump back into this world. So Ian, Eric, you want to take it?
Hi, Eric Henkel's in working on biz dev at Wormhole Labs. Brent, thanks for having us. Really appreciate it. I had a great call with you a couple days ago. Thanks for slotting us in and doing a demo, kind of a walkthrough of what Wormhole Labs brings to the table. I think it will be very exciting collaboration with you guys. I think you'll find this is a really useful tool. Ian, you want to just introduce yourself?
Hey guys, Ian Hazelhurst again. I'm sitting here with Eric, again, business dev. Excited to be here. We got a lot of exciting information to give you. Good to see you again, Brent. And I'll hand it back over.
Yeah. Hey, I know that Curtis Hutton, our founder and CEO, is on the call. Curtis, are you on? Can you hear us? I think he's on.
He's muted.
There he is. Oh, he's muted.
Can I say
He'll unmute in a second.
real quick,
Oh, sorry.
Eric, I just want to introduce myself quickly. I'm Susie Scholl, and I'm with eXp Realty. And I got to the phenomenal opportunity to, I've known Ian Hazelhurst for years, and then Eric for a couple of years. And they introduced me to Curtis and Phil at Wormhole Labs. And what they showed me literally just blew my socks off. I've been in the business for 34 years. I have never seen anything like this, and I've never seen the quality, and to me, most importantly, the integrity of a company with Wormhole Labs. And when I saw this, I reached out to EXP and I said, you know what? We've got to be a part of this. And so thank you so much, Glenn, for taking the time to be on and listen to this. And thank you, Phil, Curtis, Ian, and Eric for being a part of this. And Brent, thanks for setting this up. So grateful.
Let's do it. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Let's burn. Curtis, hi, how are you? Welcome.
Curtis, do you just want to say a quick hello in case you chime later so people know who you are?
Sure. Yeah, hi guys, and all of you. Yeah, I'm Curtis Hutton, the founder and CEO of the company. You know, we've taken our technology and our team. It's the same team that in the late 90s and early 2000s, we invented streaming on mobile phones. So if you were ever doing streaming back there on Verizon Vcast or any of that stuff, that was all powered by our team. And so this is a newer and better version of how to interact with people called wormholing. And we built it out and patented. Now we have a lot of different industries hitting us up to use it. And I'm super excited. I have family members that are in the real estate industry, and I'm really excited about doing whatever tweaking we can do for it to fit your guys' needs. And so the technology is sitting there and ready to go. And I'd love to hear any ideas you guys have that we could make it even better for you. And so we can take a look at it and just let us know.
Let's do it. Let's
Well
do
said.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
Yeah, and as Curtis said, the team was all working together back in the day on live streaming. I had a few less grays back then, but those were really fun times. So,
You don't even have any grays. Come on.
oh, they're coming in. They're coming in on the sides. Well, great. Can everyone see my screen? Okay. Thumbs up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, love it. Cool. So at Wormhole Labs,
Hold on, Bill.
By the way-
We don't have the presentation. We just have your, I don't know what it is.
Your
All your
desktop.
stuff, your desktop view.
All the games you play and things like that.
you see my Skyrim background and everything? Let me see.
No,
that.
more, no more Facebook stuff. We're done with that. There.
By the way, one comment I'll make. So Phil joined us from Facebook. He was also on our team that did the first live streaming, but he was at Facebook in charge of gaming. And one of the things we strive to do is take all the immersion and ability avatar to interact and also have fun and make the experience terrific in the real world. So you'll see elements from gaming in our technology. And so Phil, take it away.
Great. Do you see the presentation now?
yes.
Hey, victory. Cool. So we've kind of covered a little bit of the team, but a couple other things to point out. Roland Hansen, our co-chairman, he was a VP at Microsoft, and he was the guy that named, branded, and launched Windows along with Bill Gates. So storied career, honored to have him on board. And he and Curtis came together to launch this amazing technology. And Curtis, he's a humble guy, but he's had a very storied career in the technology space. He's been a futurist, forward thinking, started kicking around Wormhole as an idea back in 2012 when the idea of location-based services on phones and even smartphone market was pretty young. We also have Travis Cloyd on board, who has been in the AR, XR, VR market for about 11 years. Oh, sorry, feedback. Oops, somebody needs to mute. Okay.
Yep.
But as long as this generation of AR, XR, VR has been happening, he's been right on the cutting edge. And then Justin Balanon recently joined from Bumble. He was the head of influencer marketing over there, where he helped scale them from 30 million to 100 million users. So what is Wormhole? Wormhole is a live simulation of the real world that's entirely generated by the power of the crowd and AI. So what that means in practice is someone can hold up their phone, spin around in a circle, and that creates an environment. But it's not just an environment, it's very content rich. So not only are you creating an environment, but all of the live videos, people represented as avatars, social media, requests, live streams, all drop into that world. And then people can navigate that world as avatars, tapping from what we say smart bubble to smart bubble. So you can walk through a house, you can walk down a street, you can jump over to Las Vegas and see what's happening there. You can go over to Coachella, chat, see if you can check out the live bands there, then come right back into a real estate listing and talk to a realtor doing an open house. So naturally, as we started pitching this around, real estate as an industry came to us and said, oh my gosh, this is a wonderful thing, especially in a time of social distancing, to be able to very easily create a content-rich and navigable home where you can get people to a point of sale, you can communicate in a very human-like way, and you can walk around the home in a very human-like way and see content, chat with the realtor, chat with other people, chat with neighbors, check out the stuff outside, etc. So I'm not going to belabor this too much because pretty soon I'm going to show you a video and then I'm going to show you a live demo of actually jumping into a house. So just to set the table a little bit on some of the things you're going to see inside of a smart bubble. So inside of a smart bubble, you're going to see videos, which is something that a realtor can take a video of them walking through a room, pointing out specific items in the room, like a cool bed, a cool bathroom, and then that video lives as a thumbnail that anyone can tap and then immediately start watching the video. You'll see what we call POI links, or points of interest links. Very easy to drag and drop as a realtor into this world. But if you, for example, want to highlight the Viking range and how cool that is, you can have a link to the Viking website that shows what that stove is, and then people can tap it, learn a little bit more, and then jump back out. Or anything that you can find on the web, you can put in as a POI link. It's three-dimensional, it's animated, it's very cool. Avatars, so everybody in the world of Wormhole is represented as an avatar. And there's two different ways you can do this. Either you can be at the actual home, and you'll see your avatar walking around as you go room to room, and people can tap on you, they can ask you to take video of things, they can ask questions, you can take them into another room, take live video, etc. Or if you're sitting on your couch and you what we call wormhole or teleport into that property, your avatar gets dropped right in. So you can start answering questions as you're actually at the property, but you can be doing it from the comfort of your own couch or wherever you are at the moment. So whether you're here or there, you can still be out there selling. Live streaming, very, very valuable part of what we do. So if you want to have that immersive experience where somebody asks you a very specific request, I want to see the inside of a stove, right? Open the refrigerator and show it to me. You can just go live, immediately start showing them that. And then they can see it, as well as anybody else who's around that property at the time can see those live videos. We can also add links within those live videos in real time. So if you, for example, want to show off the Viking range on a live video, but then also have a link out to it, they can just tap the screen and immediately they're viewing that as well. Social media, as we all know, realty has had a pretty big disruption over the past 10 years with the growth of Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and everything else, right? So we wanted to embrace that. So if you create any of this content in the world, a live broadcast, a video, or even just your location, and you want to share it out on Twitter, you just hit that Twitter button, say, hey, I'm at this open house right now. Make sure to tap this link. It brings you right back into the world of your wormhole. They can view all the content, they can chat with you, they can walk through the house, etc. And it all ties in very naturally to your social media. And then a very cool feature called requests. So let's say somebody goes to a home at 2 a.m. within Wormhole. You're probably not going to be there, you're going to be asleep. But they want to see a video, or they want a smart bubble of the bathroom or the attic or the outside, the backyard, the shed, right? You can go into that home the next day, see that request hanging out there saying, hey, I want to see this. And then you can answer the request with a smart bubble, a video, a live video. So you have a very visual representation of the question that they're asking, and then they're notified directly through Wormhole about what they want to see. So I've now talked through a series of features there. I think it's a whole lot more fun to view it. So I'm going to pop on this video. It moves pretty fast through the feature set, so I'm going to stop it here and there. And Eric, feel free to stop me as well. Okay. And we're going to go through feature by feature. So here we go. All right. So this is an actual home. This was taken by a real estate agent who was creating content using Wormhole and selling the house. What you're seeing right now is the smart bubble experience. So somebody's spinning around and capturing that smart bubble. And as soon as they've done a full 360 turn, that smart bubble appears, and now it's within the world of Wormhole. Now the person is creating a video. So I'm going to stop it right there. As you see, they created a smart bubble so that people can jump in. And now within that smart bubble, they wanted to create a video. So they just hit that video button and they started walking around and narrating, and immediately they're creating a video that's going to drop right inside of that smart bubble so anyone can visit it and watch it. So here they are walking around showing off this beautiful balcony. Here's a little tiny wet bar in the bedroom. I will live in this house someday. I've decided that's my new goal. There's the Pelotons, very cool. You can kind of see what it feels like to go room to room. So they stopped recording. At that point, they're adding a quick tag, so they can add a tag that says master bedroom so that people can see while they're going into the video what it is. They're adding a link directly to the website for the home, so you can drive people to the point of sale. It immediately shows up as a thumbnail. Somebody can tap it, and immediately they're viewing it. You're here. Pardon me? Oh, sorry, that was somebody in the video. Oh, that threw me. So now you're going to see somebody who's inside of the video, and they say, hey, this is really cool. Could be the agent. It could be just somebody watching the video, and they're going to hit that Twitter button, and they're going to share it to social media to start creating those network effects around the home. Yeah, custom built out master bed. So they hit that button. As you see, all the social media shows up. They hit Twitter, and immediately they're sharing the video out to Twitter. So it makes it very, very easy to implement your social media so they have access to all of the content that was built inside of that home. And there we go. The tweet is now sent out. All right, I'm going to stop it right here too. What you're seeing is the world of Wormhole represented as a globe. Now you might see those points of light. What those points of light are is everything that's created within the Wormhole universe. So videos, smart bubbles of local schools, of shoppable links inside of malls. It's all already there. And through the drag and drop interface, you can link out to other things. So if, for example, you want to show off the local mall, the local school, so that they know the school system is good, you can drop a shopping bag icon that rotates inside of there. Someone taps that, they're immediately taken to a shopping center nearby, so they can start getting a real feel for what the neighborhood's like. And you're going to see that right now. So somebody's about to go back to that address, zooming right into the globe, and there they are. Now there's the tweet that shows up from earlier. Now what you're going to see now is the video. It's got a link on it. So this is somebody actually inside of a smart bubble. They're not in the actual home at this point. They're watching a video, the one that was taken earlier, visiting the link, and there we are going straight to the MLS pictures, point of sale. All right, I'm going to stop it right there. What you're seeing right now is an avatar, and that is the avatar of the realtor that's there. So somebody wormholed into the property. The realtor was either at the property or wormholing themselves on the property from the comfort of their own home. And now they're inviting them to chat. So you can use this for lead generation and start to answer their questions directly. And you're going to see some of the chat experience and what a virtual open house looks like.
Hey, Phil, can I jump in real quick?
Jump right in.
Yeah, I just want to point out, so depending on where you are in different parts of the country, how COVID is affecting open houses and things like that, what I've observed is some real estate agents would like to, they don't want to go and do and appear as an avatar 25 times a day. They just want to set up the house and kind of set it and forget it, let people go through, experience the whole thing. If they have questions, then the real estate agent can actually answer those questions and deal with them from their own home, or they could even be 1,000 miles away on vacation and still deal with it. Other, let's say, higher end properties where the agent has a lot fewer buyers and they want to say, okay, well, let's get together there at 6 o'clock today, and their prospective buyer maybe is in China or somewhere. They can do that, and neither of them have to be at the house. They can just both appear as avatars remotely, and they can still do a very personal walkthrough as though they're both there. So it allows, it depends on how the agent wants to handle it. It can be very personal. They can do personal showings, avatar to avatar, one-on-one. They can do open houses where no one even has to be there, but everyone can still walk through. Or they can kind of just set it and forget it. And people can press down and ask questions about different parts of the house or so forth. And the real estate agent can answer them that way. So it's very flexible.
Thank you, Curtis. Appreciate it. So you're going to see a little bit of what Curtis was just talking about, of that one-to-one interaction of a real estate agent with somebody who's wormholing into the home.
Hey, real quick, Phil, also what might be interesting to the agents is, as somebody, say you have a property and you're not getting all the looks, or maybe you are, to Curtis's point, there will be a push notification if somebody enters the property and is viewing it through the wormhole technology. You'll get a push notification, and it could be at any hour of the day, and it will alert you, hey, somebody's looking at your property, and that will give you the ability to then jump in and meet them there and say, hi, I'm Eric the agent, and I just wanted to say, do you have any questions, or can I help you or walk you through it, answer any questions, and be a part of that experience with them. Or like Curtis said, they'll just be able to go and navigate and do all that as well. So that's a kind of another really unique and cool feature that, you know, there's probably lots of people looking at all of your listings when they go on through the website portal, or they just happen to check it out and they're looking at pictures. But wouldn't it be nice to know who's doing that and notify you as they're doing that, and give you possibly a lead as well? So sorry, Phil, just wanted to drop in there.
Along those lines, I would add that as people are walking through, I believe the technology can let you know what people are doing as they're doing walkthroughs. So you can get data and information about where they're spending time. Maybe they're spending all their time in the kitchen, or checking out the areas that have views. So you're getting feedback about what people are interested in. And so there's a lot of data that we can collect, and you can let us know what would be helpful for you. And, you know, there may be a lot of questions people are asking. And maybe if you have to do a price reduction or something like that, this could provide a lot of vital information to help you in negotiating with the seller, for example. But that's up to you guys. We can have a bevy of information for you that can really help you out, I think. So feel free to jump back in. Sorry about that.
I think one of the things that I love feedback wise as an agent looking for clients is we've all had listings where it gets viewed 30, 40, 50, 80, 100 times. We don't have any contact with those people. You just see the amount of views. What if you get that push notification? You could show up in your avatar form and start engaging them and saying, so where are you coming from? Oh, we're coming from San Diego. Oh, I'm from San Diego. How? And then you just start talking to them. I'm an absolute expert in the area. I can take care of you. I think it's so much more powerful than you got to mute your phones, guys. And then seeing, it, and then going, okay, who do we call? And I just think those of you that have good social skills will kill it with this technology. And they're offering to let us beta test it with our team. And I am pumped. Go ahead, carry on.
Oh, very well said. Yeah, we can at any point roadblock and then have somebody have to enter their name, email. I'll show you a little bit of that experience later. But if, for example, you want a video before someone can tap and view it, they have to put in their name and email and phone number. You can roadblock it anywhere you want. So it's a very exciting feature for lead generation. So now we're viewing the actual communication back and forth through chat. They're walking through as an avatar and saying, look, you're checking out the master bathroom. Make sure to see the video while you're here. And then somebody responded by checking out the video, and then it has a little bit of that narration as they look through it.
Hey, Phil, because we've gotten a lot of interaction with agents that have seen how the chatting works with the avatars in text formation, talking to yourself and Curtis, it might also be useful. A lot of them would say it would be great if you could actually have voice to talk as well by just tapping on the avatar, and then you can actually hear them and talk to them, or it will queue them up or call them. So I'm not a technical guy, but I know that is something we can do as well, if that would be helpful for your team. Also, just wanted to interrupt you there. Sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
Well said. That's a very simple part of the build out. Yep.
And question, this is from a consumer perspective, this is entirely web-based, right? So they come in on mobile or web via their computer. There's no download required for them to actually view this content, correct?
Right. Yeah, it's a true platform. So it's built in a programming language called Unity. Very, very nimble programming platform. So it can work on web, it can work on mobile, it can be appified, it can be built directly into your technology. Anywhere that you want to see this technology, it can appear.
Okay, so and I'm thinking about really from a lead gen perspective, consumers are really wary of downloading something before they can actually view something. So the idea is, if they're able to come in, on their mobile, immediately sort of be immersed in a wormhole, then I think, then that barrier, because they don't know exactly what they're going to see typically when they see the link, but they do get paranoid when they see that there's a download required.
Sure. And we want it to be as frictionless as possible. So we want it to bake into the technology in a way that naturally feeds into your customer funnel, but then also, depending on your needs, we can have it gate where we need to or sign in where we need to if you want to get more information on the customer.
Phil, this is Curtis. I was going to say, part of what we're doing today is saying, okay, well, is there something else you'd like? If you want us to add the voice, where along with chatting with people, you'd like to be able to tap on each other's avatar and talk, we can certainly do this. So part of what, I was trying to get from today, from my perspective, is what would you guys like? And then we can work together then and get going. And if you have part of your team that would like to work with us, then we can just work together and dial in the features you want. And, we could get started on that right away. And then, each week we can meet briefly. Your team can be using it, and then we'll add in the features and just really dial it in for exactly what you need.
Yep. And just one side note, I love this. it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I just got a place here in Puerto Rico and I could have really used this technology. But B, I know this is just a demo and I'm way past it, but I hate the fact that somebody's walking through and their hands moving and they're not really getting the right shot. We all use professional photographers, professional videographers. We don't, you could tell them, hey, for you that want to cheap it out and hold your hand and bobble and so I would just say for your demo, get a professional videographer. It's $250. It's nothing. And get a bitchin' steady right panning because it is a bit distracting. I can see way past that. Just a little quick feedback. I don't like this part of the demo could have been done a lot better, just whatever it's worth.
Sure. And any assets created in the MLS can become something within the Wormhole world too. So if you're getting professional videography, you're getting drone footage, we can have it show up as a thumbnail as well. We can just plug it directly into the back end.
Yeah, by the way, that was an actual realtor doing that. And I agree with you. Some of the video was, a little jaggedy. Now, when you do the backdrops, the smart bubbles, the technology kind of won't let you do a bad one because it will show you and it will guide you. And so basically those are all good, but you're right. The video that an agent does is up to how good they want to make it. So I would, if I were an agent, I would make it really good or I would hire a professional, but I think he was a little bit laissez-faire when he was doing that. I agree with you.
So I'm assuming that that as you shoot these smart bubbles, you can then, if you're doing room to room, you can shoot a smart bubble, somehow put a piece of navigation on the smart bubble to take you to the next room. So you sort of build out a walkthrough of the property, smart bubble to smart bubble. Is that how it's built out now?
Yeah, you can tap through and you go right through to the different rooms. Correct. The other thing I'll tell you from firsthand experience is that, I've been looking at homes potentially in Florida. I live in California and I love it, but the taxes are pretty crazy. So, without our technology, what I have to do is look at these different places in Florida. They look good from the pictures, but, a lot of pictures look good, but I have no idea about the neighborhood or that golf course that's a couple blocks down the street. I can't wait for our technology to be out because what I want to do is I want to tap on the neighbor or someone over at that golf club's avatar and ask them, what's the course like? What are the dues? What's the neighborhood like? Because obviously this is your profession. You guys know that when you buy a house, you're buying the neighborhood, you're buying all the things around you. And that's where wormholing really shines because through the power of the crowd, you can interact with other people around and really get a sense of that area. And right now there's a lot of remote sales going on where people from New York are buying stuff in Florida and, all that kind of stuff. So, and I'm one of them, by the way. And so it's very helpful. Also, if you guys would like, and you have a big listing, you could sort of have some neighbors or dedicated people to maybe answer questions for some of your clients. And you'd be surprised in this world now, people are very helpful with each other. They don't mind doing that, no problem. So as an agent, especially on high-end properties, it can be very helpful because then I can actually check out the school, the neighborhood, Starbucks and all that kind of stuff. And I really feel like I've been there and can make a buying decision. So I just wanted to point that out.
Oh, very well said. And yeah, we've kind of skipped a little bit ahead in the presentation, so feel free to jump in with any questions. Here's a little bit of the experience, a sample of what it could look like on the site. Again, a lot of this could be, hold on one sec. Yeah, so a lot of this is kind of related to the setup of what it could look like. A lot of this is pretty malleable, so we'd love this to be a two-way conversation. But for example, someone could see the Wormhole logo or maybe just a immersive sales logo somewhere on the site. It could be within any technology you have. It could feed back to the MLS. Somebody taps that, they enter in their information for lead gen, then immediately they're represented as an avatar inside of Wormhole. We talked a little bit about the agent editing tool, but I know this is something the agents are really excited about. So all very drag and drop. If you want to show off a local mall, you can drag the shopping bag and then just add a link to the within the wormhole universe of the mall. Schools, shopping, repositioning videos, whatever you want to do to make it more precise, you can do directly through the drag and drop interface. The real-time engagement with customers is one that we get a lot, that people are really interested in. So you saw a little bit of it in the video, but being able to chat avatar to avatar is an incredibly immersive way to do this. And frankly, younger buyers they've already know how to do this, because a lot of kind of moving around with avatars, for any of you with kids who are around that age, they grew up communicating avatar to avatar. It's a really intuitive, immersive way to walk through the home and communicate with people. And I also want to point out that a request is something that can be answered by anyone. So let's say you've got a mid or low market home. You don't want to go over there every single day and answer requests. You can say, hey, if somebody takes a video of the living room, we'll give you a $10 Starbucks gift card. It's all handled directly through there. So somebody who's actually in the open house or a current resident can go in, answer the question on your behalf, and then receive that gift card. So you don't have to drive all the way out there. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but the ability to see data is huge, 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 right? I come from Facebook, where data is kind of our bread and butter. Likewise, we want to give you the data so that you know what's really special about the home and what's getting people to the point of sale. So who's opened your, who's actually gone into your home. We're able to do lead generation around that. As Eric mentioned, push notifications when they're in your home. How much time people have spent in each room, so you know what rooms are most valuable, what points of interest people tapped. So if, for example, the refrigerator is a bigger selling point than you thought it would be, you would know that right away. How many people tapped on a thing or were in a particular room when they wanted to go to the point of sale, and then naturally where they browsed in the neighborhood. So you know how relevant the school is, the shopping centers, the golf courses. And this is just a list of product features that we've chatted about in terms of being valuable to real estate agents. But this slide is just to say, let's make this a two-way conversation. Let's build what you want to see. We've got an incredibly talented team of developers, and we just want to make sure that it's exactly what you want that helps you get to a point of sale.
Hey, so Brent, this is Eric. Again, you know, we can go on and on. There's a lot to do. And Glenn, thank you for joining the call as well. Let us know, Brent. I mean, we can do a lot for you guys, and you know, we can quickly move. We can do a lot of this stuff is very easy to do and get put in place, integrated into the EXP world as if it's your own, and make it really useful and easy. And for the agents that are listening, the actual dashboard and the editing tool that would be used for you guys is very intuitive, very easy to use. It won't be complicated. It will be very high quality, everything you do. It can all be done for mobile phones, any type of mobile phones, but if you want to have professional videos and stuff, obviously, we could integrate that all in there as well. So, and then from the user standpoint, from a home buyer, it's going to be very simple. And we kind of showed a slide where they're looking at a property on their computer and it's a listing. It could be very simple on the computer to click the arrow into the icon. We have it as a W right now, but let's say it's an EXP logo that says live, you know, live interactive. You can click it. They go right into that home. There's not, it'll gate them obviously, but it makes it very intuitive and very easy for the user as well. And it just prompts them on what to do. So it won't be confusing from either the agent standpoint getting it set up, and it can be done very quickly. This is not something that takes, you know, weeks and days and costs a tremendous amount of money. This is a very easy tool to use. It can be done immediately. So with that, Brent, I kind of want to turn it back over to you and then just say, hey, you know, let us know. We'd like to get going and get working with you guys. We can make this happen this afternoon. You know, we can get it going. So
Right on. So I appreciate your guys' time. This has been great. So what I'm looking for my team is like 7 to 10 volunteers of those of you that are techie, those of you that, or even if you're not, but you're like truly excited about it. And we have to use professional videographers and photographers and have a first-class product. And I talk about a marketing tool at your listing, sizzle with the sale. Why you? What makes you different? Well, Lions, Coldwell Banker, Remax, Keller Williams cannot do this for you. Let me show you. I have this one up and running. Let's go in now. Let me show you what I can do. They'll see, yeah, they got 30 views, 60 views. I'm going to be interacting with those people and helping to sell your home at the highest possible level and setting up showings. And here's what I can do. I think it's phenomenal. And then for us to capture buyer leads to double in the property. Well, we're moving from Santa Monica. Oh, great. Have you gotten a appraisal on your home yet? Well, we know what it is. Well, pretty much knowing what it is and knowing what it is are two different things. Well, we got an appraisal. It says it's worth 800,000. That's great. It might be worth 880. You list it for 800. Your realtor sells it the first week and you think they're a hero. They actually cost you $80,000. So what I will do is have one of my top 1%er associates in Santa Monica tell you what your home is worth, what it's really worth, not what it sold for 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. Prices are skyrocketing. What it's worth today. It could literally be worth $80,000 to you. I will not charge you for this. Would you like me to set that up? Bam. Now you got a listing in Santa Monica, which we can actually do. We can list anywhere in California, Newport Beach. Sorry, Susie. We can list anywhere, right? You don't have to give them away, or you can give it away to Susie in Newport Beach. Take 25% of a $5 million sale. Susie's new listings going on the beach in Newport Beach. It's like $6 to $8 million. 25% of that is not bad. But to use this technology and then double into $6 million house. Think big and then think bigger. I want my team, we're going to be the first ones in the world to beta test this. I got goosebumps right now. I think it's amazing. And I think it could be absolutely revolutionary for the business. Remax is not doing this. No one's, I can't even believe we're here talking to these guys. So what I'd like you to do, if you're interested, is to send James at brentgove.com, email James there in the black shirt at the bottom there. Him and Steve, you can't tell them apart. They both got black shirts, but hey, so you got James, and email him James at brentgove.com and say, I want to be a part of the beta test. And then we'll get together and have an organized approach of how we do this thing. But I don't want anyone to walk through the house with their phone. I know you can do it. I think it's great overall because there's people that will cheap it out. But that is not how we're going to do this. It needs to be freaking impressive. And then I think you'll get a lot of listings. You'll get a lot of buyers. You get a lot of referral business. So many good things. Anybody have a question for Eric, for Ian, for Curtis, for Phil right now as we're wrapping this up? Anybody unmute yourself, ask a question, fire away. Now's the time.
I've got a question. So if there's a link, say it's on Facebook, I put a link to that listing. Do they have to download an app and create a login in order to see it?
No, that's a great question. No, you do not have to download an app. So we can integrate through the technology however you'd like it to be. So I have a feeling that you want it to be as frictionless as possible. We do as well. So we work just as well as being browser based as we would being appified.
And I have another question too. I mean, I think I know the answer, but since it's sort of like, this is a new concept for me, I'm just going to go ahead and ask it. If someone in my listing created a video and I hate the video because it's, wobbling around, kind of like what Brent was talking about, like, we just can't have it, right? So can you delete it? Do you have any control, or is it so crowdsourced that then, another realtor's in there and she put her video in and there's like kids bouncing off the furniture or what? I mean, I don't know, or like a dog's barking, just
Control
things
the
like that.
content. Can we control the content?
Of the
Yes, yeah. I'll answer that because I made that clear a long time ago with the developers that I call it. So you'll have your own dashboard and you're in control of that because it's your listing. And so you can monitor that and make it exactly how you want. You don't want it cluttered. It should be the way you want. So yeah, we can provide that in a dashboard for you. I call it being the DJ. You up the tone or down the tone, you figure out what you want on there and you're in charge of that. Yep.
Awesome. John Jennings, what do you think of this technology? I want to hear from you or anybody else. I want to hear from some people what your thoughts are about this. Or am I the only one chimping out?
No, I think it's very exciting. My only concern was how are the clients going to access it? But if it's just a link, open up the link and you can navigate through it, then it seems like it's very similar to what our clients are already doing with Matterport and other 3D tours.
Yep.
Just a juiced up version.
Yep. Well, love it. Who else? Who else? I want to hear from
I have a
someone.
question. This is Joanna. The question has to do with audio. I noticed there was some nice music at the beginning. Is it easy to attach music to your preview? Do you have that available where we can just pick different music that's that we could overlay? And then if we do that, can we still talk and have the music in the background?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. And yeah, that's certainly part of a feature set that would be rather easy to build in, certainly.
Yeah, and I would, this is Curtis, I would say, look, everyone has their own styles. And so based upon your style, you can show it the way you want it to. Soft music, very low key. If it's more of a more urban, edgy listing with, you want different music and it's appealing to, Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Y, that's all up to you, but it's very flexible. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Claudia. I have $1 million home that's coming on the end of this month, and I have scheduled to have photos costing $440 to do the aerial, I think the circles, I forget what you call them, but it'll follow the house. Is that overkill, or would that be beneficial to this? Would I not need that much video or that much content?
Yeah, what I would say, having family members in the real estate industry, I'll just kind of tell you what they tell me, because they do high-end homes all the way to the homes in middle America and different price points. And so it really depends on how you want to market it. I mean, if you want to have aerial footage you can do that, and that will just link to the smart bubbles and the other parts. So it really depends on your media mix that you want to use and how you want to market it. And so I could tell you that, it's very easy to do your own bubbles, but I do understand that for your guys' standard, if you want to have someone come in and do it, then it would be similar to having your normal photographer come in, and they could simply use this technology and make it sort of a 10-dimensional smart bubble and all they'd have to do is just spin around. So you could almost use your same photographer you already use and make it very seamless. And then if you do want to have that aerial, drone footage, that can integrate right into it.
Awesome.
I love it. Steve Evans, I want to come to you real quick, but I want you guys to understand this. You're at home, it's 10 o'clock, you're watching a movie, something really productive, right? Breaking Bad, The Walking Dead, something really intelligent. And all of a sudden your phone goes, and then someone's in your $3 million listing or your $800,000 home. And you can just send them a little notice and say, hey, by the way, I'm Brent, I'm the listing agent. You can pause the really wonderful Netflix video and engage an $800,000 buyer, a $3 million buyer, or whatever the situation is. Is that better? Or what we have done for 20 years is just let people look at the pictures, watch the virtual tour, and leave and go back to their agent. How many think you could capture that lead and talk your way into being that your agent's great? He's in the Bay Area. He does not know Granite Bay. He does not know Loomis. I know it like the back of my hand. I'm going to keep you from buying in the bad area and help you buy in the good area. Nobody knows the school systems better. I know where you want to be. I'm your guy. I'm telling you, that's way more powerful than what we've been doing for 20 years. Steve Evans, what are your thoughts about this technology as a veteran superstar real estate dynamo? You got to unmute yourself.
Wow, you gave me some big shoes to fill there, Brent. But you know what? I think going forward, I think the real key is how do you make it succinct? In other words, how do you edit the content to where it gives just enough attraction to where you don't over communicate? And who does that? How do you do that? And number two, you want some music, you want to kind of loud, get some excitement, energy going, and then you want to subdue it just a little bit. And then, so it's kind of like, it's almost like a production, really. Okay. So what's the best way to learn how to do that? I guess that's my question.
Yeah. So I can answer that. We make it really easy. And you know why? in technology, if you make it hard or you have to think too much about how to use it, you're doing it wrong. So this is very, very straightforward. When you spin around and create that smart bubble, it is, we call it 10 dimensionals. I won't bore you with all the ways that we do it or the tech stuff, but it will then pick up any video or anything that you want in that space. And so you have a dashboard and you can kind of drag and drop things right into it. And so you can also get feedback. If you want to highlight the particular type of stove or the Sub-Zero refrigerator, the Wolf stove, whatever, you'll see how many people are checking that out. And you might see that as people are going around in your listing, that everybody is checking out the kitchen and they're all over the new appliances, or they're not. So it gives you data and information without you even having to be there, about what everyone's excited about on the home. And a couple other people asked questions earlier about this. This is all easy, easy, easy. It's drag and drop. It's very simple. And then if you look at it and you think, well, there's too many videos or there's too many things, you just tap on them and delete them. And you can put them back later. So you're in full control. No one knows your listing better than you.
Right.
We're just giving you the tools to make it very easy to show off your listing and market it the way you want. The other nice thing about it is, this is all, it's so simple to do that you can make changes to it yourself. It's like easy drag and drop. It's like why I use a Mac, versus other computers, because I like easy personally. So yeah.
I'm good. Thank you.
It looks like Pete has his hand raised. Pete, you want to jump in?
Oh yeah, hi everybody.
Hi, this is Joanna.
So my question was just in terms of the avatar, will the technology ever allow like a real face to be on the avatar? So we're kind of always in front of the client and in terms of who we are, or like even a picture of our face as we're making the video, making the bubble. So whoever jumps into the wormhole can actually see who this agent is rather than just the avatar. Is there something that along those lines?
Yeah, great question. We've experimented with all those, and we can do all those. We originally started with avatars that grabbed your social media picture of choice. So it would grab, let's say, your Facebook picture or something like that. So we can do that as well. It can actually be your picture. Some people like fun avatars. The avatar is kind of the standard is you make it look very similar to you. But yeah, if you guys wanted to, we could add that in so it could actually be a picture of you. That's really up to you and how you want to represent yourself. And this is kind of like why I was saying to Eric and the other people that have been more involved with you guys is that if you want to put together a group, then let's just get started. We'll look at some of the tweaks you want to make or dial it in for you, and then you have a fully functional customized solution for you. I would say it's probably 90% plus already there, and then we'll just work together with you on a weekly basis in your group, and then we'll dial these things in.
So I just want to make it really simple. I'm like the simple guy, trust me. So we have our photographer go out, take still shots and do video. We do this all the time. We just ship it off to you and then you turn it into this. Is it that simple, or how does that work? We get the video and the pictures from our professional photographer. Do we send it to one of your developers and then they create what we need? How does that work?
Yeah, good question. So you don't even have to send it to us. It instantly works. In other words, so let's say you have Bob, and Bob is your photographer. And so Bob goes out and he would normally take just pictures, two-dimensional pictures. Bob will just, and by the way, it is super simple. He just takes his phone, spins around, and it will create these multi-dimensional smart bubbles. Then, you know, just tell Bob, take a nice video of, you know, whatever parts that you want. Maybe highlight and open up the Sub-Zero refrigerator. I'm just thinking of examples, but whatever you want. So he takes those videos, just like he'd take a picture, and they instantly appear right inside the smart bubble, right away, right there in an instant. And it's all set up. That's how easy it is. Yeah, you don't have to.
I'm not getting it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're not Bob. We're not using Bob. We're using a photographer.
That's what I'm saying. A
So Bob's a
photographer.
professional photographer. You're naming
Yeah.
my photographer. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm really wanting to understand it. So we got a professional photographer called Bob. When you say Bob, I'm thinking of the consumer, thinking of the homeowner, and it's messing me up.
No, I'm sorry. Bob's the professional photographer. Let's give him a fancier name.
Robert. That's a good photographer name. So Robert does the video.
Yeah.
They send it to us and we usually upload. They don't typically upload it for us. So we upload to the MLS. Then how does this attach to you guys? I'm still missing that connection.
Yeah, Phil, I don't mean to complicate it. Do you want to do a better job of explaining how easily done it is?
I can jump in.
Okay.
If Robert is taking out like professional videos with like a DSLR or an 8K camera, like where a phone just won't do, they can just upload it to the MLS and then we can pull via an API from the MLS and then bring it in as an asset.
So we'll do what we always do.
Yeah.
We'll do what I'm just trying to wrap my brain around it. You're dealing with the simple guy, C student. So we upload, we put it in the MLS just like we always do. Then we notify you guys, you go grab it and do your magic, right?
You don't have to notify us. You can just pull the link directly from the MLS. So if it's uploaded to the MLS, then you can just, if you have a link to that picture or video, then you can just pull it in. We just need to drop the link directly into the software.
So you want me to pull it into software? I don't think I have
I'm sorry.
I'm not getting it.
No, it's like when it lives in the MLS, it's got a web link, right?
I got that.
Everything on the internet has a web link, right?
Okay.
So if you have that web link, copy, and then you just paste, and then it's there.
And I paste where? In your software?
Right, exactly. Then that drag and drop interface, there'll be a way that you can just like tap on the picture button and then just paste the link, and then it'll pop up like a native video or picture.
So there's some website we're going to go to with you guys, Wormhole Labs website?
The drag and drop interface that we saw in the earlier thing, yeah, that's going to be all integrated into the technology however you want it, right?
We're in trouble. All right, good, dude. No, we'll figure it out. I'm just teasing. I'm just trying to, okay. All right. I think a lot of people understand this. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, I have a question. You know, and this may answer John Jennings' question too, how to promote it. Do you guys, or can you create like a demo to where it becomes part of our listing presentation, or we can send it to a prospective lead that may want to list their home? And in other words, this is something we can do. Just click on this link and it's a demonstration of what we can do for your home, even though it's not your home. You know, it's kind of like Michael Lewis Marketing. They have these really nice listing presentations. So do you have a sample of your demo that we could promote ourselves to get the listing?
Sure, we can set up, and it depends on you guys. You might want several that match the type of listing that you're trying to appeal to. So we could sort of set up a few of them, and then you guys could use the one that fits best for you for the situation. Yeah.
All right, I see.
Hi, this is Joanna. I had a question.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. The question is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we were looking at a narrow view of the home, right? Not my full screen. That was a concern I had. Can we make it bigger so that I don't have to look at something little? If I'm looking at this home, I want it to fill in my whole screen. Please clarify whether it's doing that or not.
It can fill in the whole screen. It can be vertical or horizontal and fill in the whole screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Brary. Brent, is there a way that we can just get his contact information and get some of these questions offline? We've got another guest waiting to speak.
Yeah, you're right. We do have another guest on. This is
I
good.
do have one good question. I just want to know, like, when we post the video on we post the video into the bubble, right? And then you said that we can show up live in person and ask questions, right? Does that person have to create an avatar in order to see that video?
No, so they can just have a default avatar. They can customize it if they want to, or they could just join the universe.
Does it prompt them to select an avatar before viewing the video?
We can make that an option if that's what you want, but we can just have a default avatar if you want to make it more frictionless.
Okay, that was it. Thank you.
Cool, thanks.
All right, guys, what I'll do is I'll set up a meeting next week. For those of you that are interested, let's jump in and do like a lab, do like a kind of really dive into the weeds on this thing. And let's start sending them some content, copying those links into their deal and play around with this. I think it's absolutely fascinating. I think it's very cool. I'll set that up. We'll notify everyone. Curtis, Phil, Ian, Eric, thank you for being on today. Susie, thank you for setting this up. We have to switch. We have an attorney on standby to go over some new changes in the California real estate market. They're coming on right now. But thank you for coming on, guys.
You bet.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you, guys. Look forward to working with you, and you guys have a good rest of the day.
All right.
Take care.
Don't worry, my team's sharper than me. Don't be depressed. I'm not very much.
Same with me. All right, I'll talk to you guys. Take care.
All right, guys, we'll see you. Everybody else stay here. We're gonna hand this over to Barry, and we might have to get. Hopefully, we still have the power of host, and we didn't lose that. You got it, Barry. Go ahead.
Hey guys, I just wanted to introduce, if you've been around Sacramento very long, you probably have heard of Steve Beatty. Steve Beatty is a real estate attorney here. A lot of the answers that I need to get when it's over my head or when it goes legal is from Steve Beatty in his office. And today, Carl Block is joining us today on the call, and he's going to give us some updates on the things, just a few minutes on what he feels is important for laws that have changed. A lot of laws changed. There is a car legal has a good section on laws that have changed, but you know, it's good to get a face to go with it and somebody that actually knows what they're talking about. It's so easy to misinterpret. Carl, I'm going to shut up and let you get cranking.
Hey, no worries. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
You can hear it? Okay, great. Hi, I'm Carl. Yep, I work in Steve Beatty's law firm. It's called the BPE Law Group. And thanks for having me in. I greatly appreciate it. Just a short, quick update of a couple important laws and trends we're seeing. The legal business in real estate is just going crazy. Something with COVID and people sitting in their houses, they like to, I don't know, see things that are wrong and start to sue over them. Some trends I've been spotting recently, we've got people calling up who were in contracts for sale, who want to get out of those contracts. The usual set of negligent misrepresentation coming out from things that weren't put on the TDS or the SPQ. Of course, we're getting a lot of landlord-tenant issues or questions about landlord-tenant. We've got some property line disputes, and then there's a smattering of new construction defects coming in. A lot of this is occurring because people are doing the COVID, either remote inspections or not doing adequate tours, and then they get into the house and they get surprised. So those are major trends. Laws that have been changing recently, there's something called AB 3088 that most of you are probably familiar with if you deal with landlord tenants. So there has been, or there is right now, a moratorium on evictions for non-payment of rent due to COVID until the end of January. There is rumor floating around, there's rumor all over the place that they're going to extend that, but right now the law is up until January 31st. If the tenant does a writing where they say that they're being under financial hardship for COVID, then you can't evict them for non-payment of rent. However, On February 1st, that goes away. So the legislature, in their infinite wisdom, has said we're going to have a mass of potential eviction actions or non-payment of rent actions. So the legislature has expanded the ability of small claims court, or the jurisdiction of small claims court, to deal with that, with the idea that that will reduce your lawyer's fees in trying to claim back rent. Some of the questions we've had in the near term is, well, can I evict people now? And you can't do it for non-payment of rent if they sign the COVID form. But if they're doing a breach of contract, let's say my contract doesn't allow dinosaurs and I bring my pet Tyrannosaurus Rex into the apartment, then yes, you can do an eviction for that purpose. But it'll all be very interesting to see if that changes in the next couple of weeks as we get closer and closer to February 1st. So that's what's going on with AB 3088. Another one of interest, this is Senate Bill 1079. That's called the Homes for Homeowners Bill. Sounds great. What it does is it creates a first right of refusal for eligible bidders if a property is going into foreclosure. It's an outcome from, we had the Great Recession, and large companies were bidding on blocks of houses. And basically you saw a decrease in individual home ownership by homeowners. You saw an increase of home ownership by corporations. So the legislature said, we want to change that. So they changed that by granting either tenants or prospective actual homeowners a 45-day window when they can purchase a rental property or purchase a foreclosed property. In the case of tenants, if they match a previous bid, or somebody else if they make a next higher bid. The effect of that is it's going to really significantly change the judicial foreclosure process and potentially slow it down over the next couple of years as we adjust to that. So that'll be interesting, and if you deal in the foreclosure market, that will affect you a great deal. Next up, disclosure requirements are changing. If you remember, unfortunately, a couple of years ago, we had the big, massive fires where there are lots of homes lost throughout Northern California and various other areas. So the bills are taking effect now to change the disclosure requirements for high fire areas or areas in mountainous or forested conditions. So there's a requirement after January 1st that the seller has to provide a statement to the buyers regarding fire hardening of the home. After July of this year, the seller has to provide documentation required compliance with laws on vegetation management. And also after July 1st of this year, seller must disclose a list of fire hardening retrofits that have occurred. So that's going on. They're also creating what they call ember resistant fire zones. So anybody who owns, leases, manages, controls, etc., an occupied dwelling in mountainous areas, forested areas, brush covered areas, grassland, or any land that's covered by flammable material, boy, that could be a lot of things, has to create a defensible space of 100 feet out there. Your insurance company can expand that out, but they can't expand it out beyond the property you own. There's also a requirement to remove any trees that are within 10 feet of the outlet of a chimney or a stove, to maintain any trees or shrubs that have dead or dying wood, and also to maintain the roof structure of trees or leaves, or the roof structure to keep them free of trees, leaves, needles, or vegetative materials. That's going to affect your NHDs and what's going on there. That law actually has some teeth. It's not just a wish list, but it has some teeth because the local agency having jurisdiction can actually go out there, notify people, and they could potentially take care of themselves and put a lien on the house. So that might affect people who are in the Auburn area or Placerville area, or basically any place that is identified as a high fire danger. there's a bunch of other little ones, but in a short amount of time here, those are probably the top ones that are going on. Of course, there's a list of 20 others, but they're mostly small.
No problem.
Nature. Are there any questions?
Hey, Carl, a couple of questions for you. One, have you heard about the HOA rule where now 25% of all properties can be rentals in HOAs?
Yeah, 25% of owners to starting January 21st, regardless of whether the HOA has formally amended their governing documents. So have I heard of it? Yes. Have I dealt with any details on it? No, not yet. So
And just one other thing that I noted was an increase to the homestead exemption. I don't know if that would run across your way,
yeah,
but for us,
300,000. Yeah, that's increase the homestead exemption up to 300,000. So.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you very much. Did anybody have any questions for Carl?
Yeah, I had a question about Prop 19, sorry, and your interpretation on that, how that works, when it goes into effect, what I should be telling people.
So Prop 19 is the temporary statewide COVID eviction law.
Oh.
And that ties in with 3088. So the big deal there is, are they going to extend it? There's an executive order that extends that time frame. How far is that executive order going to go? Is it going to extend out? I just don't know yet.
Sorry, Carl, I guess I mentioned the wrong number. I was trying to talk about the property tax law and how they said you can't transfer it anymore. Like some people that they were transferring their property taxes from like their home that they had purchased in 1984, and they're buying a new house now and they're keeping that same property tax rate.
Yeah, I dealt with one case on that about a couple months ago, but I don't have details I don't have details where I'd feel comfortable giving you specifics on it. I need to know the specific case, and it used to be county by county. Now it's statewide, but I need to know some more of the details behind it.
No problem, Carl. Hey, Carl, if you could give everybody your contact information, that would be great. And Valerie, I'll circle back around to you on that question. I've got that.
Okay.
Okay. It's the BPE Law Group in Gold River, California. We're at 916-966-2260. That's 916-966-2260. And love to talk to you.
All right, cool, guys. Hey, I'm going to shut down the meeting. Thanks, Barry and Carl, for coming on today. We appreciate that. Obviously, we had some great guests. That was really cool. We had Glenn Sanford. John, I want to thank you and Val for setting up that this week. We had a great meeting with Frank from Viral Marketing. If you guys didn't see that, we've posted that. We'll post that here on our Facebook Brent Gove team page. And I just wanted to wish you guys a great weekend. We'll see you guys next week. If you're interested about that wormhole database and how that would all work, obviously there's some, just throw me an email and I'll get the data to you guys and we can do a beta test. Like Brent said, we'll probably set up next week as well to talk about that. So thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend. Barry, thank you. Appreciate it, Carl. Bye-bye.